We are meeting again for one of the masters of engineering subject called as computational intelligence. Now, as we have seen a number of videos which are related with this subject, now we have come down to the last topic of the subject, which is related to the syllabus of Mumbai University related with ME computers. Now, when we have gone through all these models, the last model in the subject is model number 6, and we are dealing with the model named as what are the applications which we are going to see, which are related with this particular subject. As we have seen, there were too many algorithms which we have covered in this subject. To have this subject thoroughly prepared, always there is a question that why we are going to study this subject, and to have this subject knowledge we should know the application on which we are going to work, or the algorithms which you have studied give what are its final applications which are to be worked on a system. Now, being a long topic, we'll try to break up into two parts of the video. In the first part, we'll try to cover the first half of the chapter, and in the second half, we'll try to cover the second half of the chapter. Here, there are four topics which are to be covered under the model number 6 as an application. Now, to have this application to be discussed in a long term, I will try to highlight the points of this chapter which are according to the syllabus. Let me put it into a point. The first point, what we are going to cover as application of computational intelligence, where the different algorithms which we have covered. The first application is known as your character recognition. As we have studied that we have started writing the alphabets from our KG standard to till date. Now, when we have started in our junior KG or KG, we were more clear and we could not have any misalign of our characters when we were writing them. But as we grow, we know that we don't have a habit of continuing the same stroke of the character, which can be worked out with respect to the same person, as there is a human tendency to change according to its behavior, and the same character cannot be written for too many times in the same way as it had started. So, there are too many aspects which are related with the security when it comes down to a character recognition by a person. This has become the most important part of the security nowadays in a digital world. As we know that there are n numbers of security aspects which can be easily being cracked out with respect to many coding. But there is one more methodology where we can say that we can utilize the character recognition as one of the part of the security. Now here, why we require a character recognition? A character recognition in a broad way we can say that when a character is being identified by a handwritten expert, it can easily identify that the person who has written is the same person who is going to work for a system. Since at the initial end, for any security aspect, we take the signature of a person and we have this signature in a digital format saved under certain categories. And always, when the person comes to the logic, we'll try to match it. Then we have a transactions being completed. As this is one of the part of the security, we'll go into the details one by one in some moment. But first, I will try to list what are the other things which we are going to study in this chapter. We have seen genetic algorithm as one of the topics in this subject. As we know, the genetic algorithm is nothing but it is the most fittest value or the fittest function which comes into the logic to generate or to have a good maximum properties of its own parent element, right? Using this characteristics, we try to have one of the application which we are going to study as algorithms, genetic algorithms, which are used in a game playing technique. Now we know that we have always different games which are to be played online. That is, one person is said to be a human being, and second person is said to be the system in which we are going to work out. Means what? A computer or an intelligent system or an intelligent machine which is being utilized to have the second player, and the first player may be a human being or a natural human person who is going to play a particular game. Now we know that a game called as chess playing, which has become worldwide famous, and it has got too many things to be worked out. Human being has generated a system, but as we know that the system can be trained and can be optimized, can have more intelligent decisions, or it can think more faster than a human brain nowadays. There are limitations because a human has got something called as emotional thing, whereas the system does not have any emotional things, where the human can think emotionally and he can have some mistakes being done while playing the game. But the system does not have anything, so it has been working according to a known calculated system or algorithm which is always running in the background for a good and fruitful output working. Now, this can be done with respect to how you are going to have the different algorithms or a different genetic algorithms which are to be implemented on a particular system or a particular game technique. As we know, there are huge games which can be easily worked on with respect to the algorithm which we have already studied. Knowing the facts of a system or a method or a logic which is being converted into a syntactical format for a language, and this language becomes a program, and this program is executed in a format to have a optimize and a good solution for a system. Hence, to continue with the game play with respect to genetic algorithm, we'll have the next part of our video and we'll continue the same in the next logics. Then, in this chapter, we have we have things where we are going to have a system where we are going to see how one more algorithm, which is nothing but as a ant algorithm, which is to be put into an application. As we know that we are being worked out with something called as traveling salesman problem. In this traveling salesman problem, we have seen that the salesman has to visit to all the cities which he has been assigned to move on. And the basic logic is he has to visit all the cities which he is being assigned. Now, there are too many different algorithms which can solve this problem of TSP, that is traveling salesman problem, in its own way. Every algorithm has got its own advantages and disadvantages. Depending upon the situation, the salesman tries to apply the different methodologies to get the final requisite or the final output which is being targeted. Or we can see that this is one of the type where we know the start point, we know the goal point, and we are trying to draw a line between the start point and the goal point by utilizing the different points in which the person has to visit and complete the path with the minimum optimized solution. One methodology to solve this problem is known as ant colony. Then there is something called as one more methodology called as swan intelligence. This methodology we have already studied with respect to the algorithms how we can use this swan intelligence. Now we are trying to apply to the TSP to find the best path for solving the problem. Now, these are the basic topics which we are going to study under model number 6 as your subject. Now, we'll go into the details of each of the points in the upcoming video as part 2 for the computational intelligence of ME subject for Mumbai University. Thank you.